A military source brands the explosions near the Army General Staff as a terrorist act carried out by those who serve foreign agendas. Our armed forces deal a severe blow to terrorists in Aleppo, Homs, Hama and Al-Raqqa. Bogdanov says Al-Ibrahimi has notified Russia about his intention to work on the basis of Geneva statement to solve the Syrian crisis. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our news for today. An official military source has said that the armed terrorist groups who execute foreign agendas carried out this morning a new terrorist act, detonating 2 suicide cars and an explosive device near the Army General Staff building, causing fire and material damage to the building and injuring several guards. The source pointed out that this terrorist act has coincided with random shooting by some terrorists in the area surrounding the building and nearby streets to spread panic among civilians. The authorities hastened to pursue them in the neighborhood. Initial investigations, however, pointed out that the 2 explosions were caused, as we mentioned, by 2 suicide car bombers. The source affirmed that the Army General Command considers this act as an evidence of bankruptcy reached by those who lead the war on Syria. The source affirmed that all the military commanders and the general command officers are safe, and that no one of them has been hurt, and they continue to perform their daily usual tasks. The source added that this crime will only increase our armed forces' determination to firmly confront terrorism and crush all those who want to encroach upon the security of the homeland and citizens. The following are photos of the 2 explosions captured by a nearby camera. Our army units have finished clearing Al-Husayniya and Al-Buwayda and Al-Sayyida Zainab in Damascus, suburbs of terrorists, declaring them secure zones. Our armed forces have continued to clear Aleppo and neighboring areas from the armed terrorist groups, inflicting on them heavy losses. An army unit today killed and wounded a large number of terrorists in the industrial zone in Sheikh Najjar. Also in Aleppo, army units liquidated large numbers of terrorists near Al-Sabbagh school and the vegetable market in Bustan al-Qasr quarter and near Yarmouk school in Al-Kallasa. In Hama, our armed forces eliminated an armed terrorist group and confiscated the weapons and their position in Tel Bazzam crossing point in Soran and the governorate's suburbs. The weapons confiscated included automatic rifles, bombs, and sophisticated communication equipment. Among the terrorists identified as being killed is Abdelhaq Hassan Aboud. The authorities also captured a number of terrorists in Masha al-Arabi neighborhood in Hama, seizing large quantities of weapons that included machine guns, automatic rifles, RPG rifles, BKC machine guns, Diktaryov machine gun, hand grenades, ammunition boxes, and dozens of explosive devices, each weighing more than 200 kilograms, planted among residential buildings in Masha al-Arabi. In Homs, our armed forces destroyed 3 cars driven by terrorists near Azawiya Mosque in Al-Hashish Souq in the city. Another army unit intercepted an armed terrorist group who had attacked citizens and law enforcement troops behind Al-Walidiyya school in Babhud neighborhood, killing and wounding all the members of the group. The authorities also repelled another armed group that tried to infiltrate from Al-Khandaq Street in Babhud neighborhood, killing 5 members of the group and wounding 4 others. In Al-Raqqa, an army unit destroyed 3 cars equipped with Boshka machine guns and a 4th loaded with weapons in Tal Abyad. All the terrorists in the cars were killed. A source and the governorate said army units also intercepted armed groups in Tal Abyad, Ain al-Arus, and Turkman, and the vicinity of the border gate and the governorate of Al-Raqqa, scoring direct hits against the terrorists. The Lebanese army has seized large quantities of weapons and communication equipment when it stormed into a terrorist hideout in Al-Berit, Rashaya village. The Lebanese Orientation and Guidance Directorate said the hideout contained large quantities of rifles, hand grenades, and ammunition in addition to military and communication equipment. It added that 3 suspects on motorcycles were detained. Russian President Vladimir Putin affirmed in Moscow that it is illegal to use force outside the UN jurisdiction. He pointed out that the world cannot act without relying on international law, adding that the UN covenants cannot be replaced by unilateral action because such attempts might threaten world peace and stability. Deputy Russian Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov said that the UN envoy to Syria, Al-Akhdar Ibrahimi, has stressed to the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during their meeting on the sideline of the UN General Assembly that he would work on the basis of Geneva's statement to resolve the crisis in Syria, hoping to benefit from this statement with utmost efficiency. Deputy Foreign Minister also asserted that his country welcomes any visit by Al-Ibrahimi, explaining that Minister Lavrov told Al-Ibrahimi that Moscow was ready to receive him at any time. Mr. Bogdanov pointed out that Al-Ibrahimi, as an experienced person, starts his work to resolve the crisis in Syria by collecting information and some impression so that he would form specific ideas that he can carry out to Russia. The 67th meeting of the UN General Assembly continued in New York today. US President Barack Obama praised the so-called Arab Spring, which is funded by the West, causing thousands of victims. For his part, the ruler of Qatar called for sending Arab troops into Syria to force it to surrender. In Iraq, finally, 5 people were killed, including 4 policemen and 2 bomb blasts in Babel, and the 3rd near Balad, north of Baghdad. Iraqi sources said that 1 civilian and an officer, along with his 2 guards, were killed, while 2 policemen were injured in 2 roadside bombs that targeted his vehicle while he was on his way to work in Babel. Another explosive device was detonated at a police checkpoint, killing a policeman and injuring another in the area of Yathrib near Balad, north of Baghdad. With this, we conclude our news bulletin for today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.